Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to a very special episode of the Power Hour. I am Steve, along with the urban sensation, the icon, the man known as C Red. Tonight, it's all Dreamwave all night. And why is that, you ask? Because our guest tonight is none other than Dreamwave himself, Mr. Jay Repsel. And Jay, first time I've ever had a chance to meet you. Nice to meet you. Your product has absolutely revolutionized the business as far as I'm concerned. And we want to talk all about where you've been, where you're going, especially this Saturday as Dreamwave presents Nevermore at the Knights of Columbus in LaSalle. Jay, welcome to the Power Hour. Thanks for taking time out for us, my friend.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's my pleasure and looking forward to chatting it up tonight.
Oh, this is going to be fun. And, Dreamwave had gone away for a minute and then came back in fantastic splendor. And the show at the last minute got shifted from one venue to another. So I got a chance to go. And although I only got to see a half the show because I had to work elsewhere that night, what an amazing turnout for that big return show. From the banners in the ceiling to the bar to the big signings in the ring to the way Boz kind of kicked off the show. What a magnificent return to form. First of all, what made you want to bring Dreamwave? Not that Dreamwave ever really left, it never really leaves, but what made this the time to come back to LaSalle and bring everybody home?
Well, I think in 2016 was the last year we ran. And, when you walk away from the wrestling business, you never truly leave it. You get bit by that bug and you might be able to suppress it a little bit, but eventually that desire just comes back. And there's a time in 2016 where I had to go and work on myself a little bit. And, I felt like we had done not everything, but there wasn't a lot of other places for us to go at the time. We had had this motley crew of people in. We had Bret Hart and Ric Flair, and we filled that building numerous times, and we proved ourselves. And I didn't feel like we had a lot left to prove at that point. And I was getting a little burnt, and it just it felt like the right time. And the end felt like perfect when we did that. I think it was October or November of 2016. And honestly, for a couple of years, I didn't even think about it. And then I don't know, I think when the whole COVID thing hit and the world just stopped for all of us, I think that was it. It was just like enough to realize like, wow, it made you appreciate the things in your life a little more and take another look at some things. And that's honestly how I felt. It was like, man, I really miss Dreamwave. And it just hit me right out of left field. So.
Well, you certainly did the return in grand fashion. 2016, it's kind of fortuitous because that's when I started working at another company that was run at the time as general manager of Aaron Xavier, who was a Dreamwave guy. And then all of a sudden, I started to get introduced to all the Dreamwave people. Our champion for a while was Brubaker. The biggest return and the biggest pop I've still ever seen in wrestling was the return of Jason Hades, who I work for now at Chicago Style Wrestling. So I've been in the business about 9 years, but it seems like I have been working for or with Dreamwave talent. And, whenever you're in the locker room, the boys tell the stories. And I have been regaled with stories of Dreamwave since I started. Now, I came into the business a little bit later than most, but they would always talk about Dreamwave. Amazing. This is where we learned how to do this right. This is, Aaron Xavier, just last night, we were talking on the phone. He's talking about booking shows. He's like, there's nobody better at making a show make sense from start to finish than Jay, which is why Aaron Xavier is going to watch tonight for the first time in his life, even when he was my guest. So fuck off, Aaron, from me to you.
There's going to be a quiz, so he better be really watching this.
He's not going to remember shit. You know how he is. He talks a lot, but doesn't. Well, we'll get to that later. Anyways, but what he said made sense because as I watched what you did recently when it came back, the storylines, especially that very interesting thing you did with Vic Capri and Mr. Buns, that was a very interesting storytelling. That little gauntlet that happened at that first show back, and I was a really big fan of the way that story progressed as it went. He says you're the Yoda, the Jedi of booking shows. How do you understand wrestling psychology in order to make a show great?
Well, I appreciate that, but I think it's blown up a little bit too much. I do appreciate the compliment.
His words, not mine.
No, so here's the way I look at Dreamwave and wrestling in general, right? Like if you want to go out there and watch 8 technical wrestling matches or 10 technical wrestling matches, there's companies that do that and are always going to do it better than you because they got more money, they got different talent, bigger platforms. If you want to go watch comedy matches, there's companies that do that as well, probably better than anyone else. So the way I look at it is like with Dreamwave is we're a greatest hits tape. So we're a variety show. There's a little bit of something for everybody. So we're going to tell our stories, obviously, but like, say this first match is a very scientific match or whatever, kids are going to get bored watching that for 2 hours, 3 hours. I mean, any way you spin it, so we try and sprinkle a little comedy in, maybe a women's match, certain things. And like I said, it's a greatest hits tape, so we don't allow people to get bored. I'm not saying there's never been downtime on a show, but we try to offer, it's kind of one of our new slogans is there's something for everybody. And that's kind of what we try and bring to the table. And with the stories, it's pretty, rudimentary. Like that, I think that's kind of what's gone away from like wrestling a lot lately is just the simple bad guy versus good guy and what is the conflict. And I think when the internet got smarter and the fans got more and more let in, that kind of went away. And I think that we try and not insult our fans' intelligence, but we just take it back to the basics. Like it doesn't have to be that complicated. There just has to be a good guy and a bad guy and a reason for them to be doing their thing. And I know that sounds really simplified, but it's not, man. And I think wrestling's been good for hundreds of years. And I think we just kind of got away from what got us to the dance for a long time. So
that is amazing. And joining us right now is our other co-host, roller derby legend Cactus Rack. She'll be joining us in a moment. C Red, you and Dreamwave go way back, and obviously you're working for Jay these days. What say you of what he just said?
I mean, what do you want me to say? First of all, he's the boss, so I'm not gonna go against what the boss says. No,
why would you in the first place?
He's always had this mind that when you look at the card on paper, it really doesn't make it. The order doesn't always make sense. And then when you step back and you see it at the end of the night, oh, okay, now I get why he did what he did. Okay. Because I've never seen anybody disappointed at a Dreamwave show. Ever. Nobody.
Bold statement.
Ever. Everybody leaves that building with a smile on their face. Always. And it's funny, Steve, you brought up the return and how it looked. Yeah, the venues got switched at the last minute because of the weather, but that was Dreamwave. That was our home. So the banners were nothing new, at least for us. At least for us. But to walk back into that building, like for me, I got goosebumps because it was like I'm home. And there's no place. And I mean, we always say there's no place like home, but for you to walk back into that building, it's always special. It's always magical. I do, and I don't even know if Jay knows this. I was going through a divorce. And the day I found out was that Saturday of a Dreamwave show. My life was devastated. Like, what the hell? And ironically, Shane Holmes talked me down and Ali talked me down. And as soon as the music hit, all of that went away. And it was about those 200 to 300 people we had packed in that room. And I went out there and did my thing. It is something about when you walk out, and maybe it's Marche and maybe it's the music, I don't know, but when you walk out and you can see all these fans and some that you have built relationships over the years, it's no longer just fans, it's now family. So from the booking to the buildings to the fans, the family, to the locker room, to the office, dude, it's just one big, great time.
Well, there you go. I mean, if that doesn't say enough, I don't know what would. I too got goosebumps walking up those steps because I had heard about walking up the steps into that building.
You out of breath.
Well, that kind of goes without saying, but I'm working on that part. But it was still awe-inspiring to walk through that door and see the way it was set up and realize what had happened here. You got a sense of that you had just entered into something important because the reputation long precedes it. You know, I hear Christian Rose talk about it all the time when I work with him. You know, I hear the Coyotes, whether it be Hopkins, Berna, Duchesne, whoever it is, I hear them talk about it. Axel Rico has come into the mix there. I hear him talk about it. So all these people that I'm around on a week-to-week basis, you know, it's Dreamwave, Dreamwave, Dreamwave. And when you get to finally see it for yourself after hearing all about it, you get the hair on the back of your neck standing up and you sit there, you know, you're not working behind a mic, you're not working in front of a crowd, you're sitting there as a fan, which is what we all are to begin with. And to be able to get that feeling, you know, having worked behind the curtain is amazing. And that's the feeling I got when I was at Dreamwave, you know, back in that first return show, because I had been exposed to it. I had heard all about it. And I had worked with so many guys that had been there that would recount all of the tales. So, you know, Jay, I feel like it's karma that you're on this show because I feel like I know you well already because everybody around me that's important to me worships at the altar of Dreamwave. So I'm just glad to have you here, I guess is my point.
Hey, man, I'm glad to be here. And, you know, that means a lot. Coming from your peers and the respect of your peers is probably the best, you know, the best reward you can ever get doing this. And, you know, I mean, we have a formula that works here, but there's a reason it works. And, you know, it takes a village, man. And, you know, it's the first thing we did when we were coming back was I called my flyer guy and I called the boys and, you know, the guys that we had used before and I knew had to be there, Red, Marche, and Vic and Brubaker. And if one of them would have said no, I may have been like, well, I don't know if I want to do this, you know, because it doesn't feel the same. Now, not to say a guy's not going to miss a show, but it's like, they're a piece of the puzzle. So the fans, same thing, man. Like if there's a fan that's not there, I'm like, man, I wonder where they were at, you know, because you get to recognize these people after 8, 9, 10 years. And I mean, I've been doing this on LaSalle since 2002 with my old company, RCW. And like, you know, it's just like crazy because these people grew up with you literally or watched you grow up or hopefully I grew up a little bit, but you know what I mean? They've been around for a long time. So.
It's an amazing product and the pedigree and the history speaks for itself. So Red, this is the time that I want to hear stories. You know, I know Jay, obviously, you know, Dreamwave has been doing it a long time. You've been doing it a long time at Dreamwave. This is where I want to hear the stories about, you know, because I shared, you know, when I was making the flyer for the show, I plucked that old picture, that old flyer of Brubaker in makeup and Vic Capri looking like a young man and a very thin Marche Rocket and a, you know, not the monster that he's become. And you just get a feeling of history when you see something like that as to where those guys that were the cornerstone, where they were then and where they are now. And now they're all going back home. And I want to hear the stories about Dreamwave that nobody hears. I want to know why these guys were so quick to return. What is it about this place that makes everybody says I have to go back there?
It's magical, I guess. To sound cliche, it's magical. I mean, dude, if I could sum it up in an actual place, it's gonna sound stupid, but it's like Disneyland.
Wow.
Like you want to go. It's a place you have to go. So you asked for stories. So I only have 2 tonight.
You only what?
I know, right?
You've had a month to come up with these stories. What are you doing?
No. But so these 2 stories mean a lot. So to me, at least, So the first one is when Jay brought me into Dreamwave. He knew me and Marche ran and asked me would I come in and work with Marche, and I said sure. So I had no idea what was going on, but it was the best of 7, if I'm correct, Jay. Marche versus Brubaker.
Yep.
And I think Brew was up. It was either close or it was tied, or Marche just needed an advantage. And at this time, this is the picture you see on the flyer. The long, stringy blonde hair, the makeup. But he had a valet with him. So we do the match, and I give the girl a work kiss in the middle of the ring. So if nobody knows what a work kiss is, put my thumb over her lips and I kiss her, but I'm really kissing my thumb. Fuck kayfabe. So needless
That's
to
why you've
say,
been married so many damn times.
I guess,
All about
right?
that work kiss, huh?
It's all about the work kiss.
I see through the drapes.
Nobody, like, it was ironic that after that happened, she never came back. Like, she just stopped. I don't know what happened. I even asked Brew about it from time to time. Like, whatever happened to that girl? He was like, yeah, I don't remember what happened. You know, it was like, oh.
See red happened. That's what happened.
Hey. But my favorite moment, and Jay knows this moment well. The whole story was, and you saw the promo. I sent it to you, so you seen it a while ago, where I turned my back on Marche, and I joined the Revolution. And for the first time, I could be a heel, and I could be myself, and I could be fun. And Jay decides for our Thanksgiving show, we're going to open. See, he's laughing. He's laughing because he knows. So Jay went out. Oh my God. Most people use props, right? No. Mr. J here goes out and gets a legit Thanksgiving meal.
Oh, I've heard this one before.
So that's how the show opens. Like, nobody understands why is there like this long table and what's covering it and all this. So the show happens and the Revolution comes out and we've got this Thanksgiving dinner and we're all going around the table, what we're thankful for, and great. Okay. And then here comes these knuckle busters or whatever you want to call them. And the greatest food fight ever in pro wrestling history happens. And when I say it was mashed potatoes being flung, turkey legs being thrown, people getting and Jay said, I'll never forget, Jay called the week before, said, hey, don't forget to bring old clothes. And I had no idea, right? So I brought old clothes. I wore old clothes. But once that happened, oh my God, you talking about trying to get mashed potatoes and peas out of your gym shoes. Like we've got to now, the show, this is the opening segment. Ain't nobody did nothing else. We now have to have all of this cleaned up. We got to clean up and the show got to continue. Oh my God. But it was so much fun. It was so much fun. Who can ever say, like, I can honestly say in my life, I took a handful of potatoes and smashed them into Marche's face. I had fun. Nobody can say that. Like, we threw actual food at each other. It was the best.
So, as a caveat to that story, So we get back behind the curtain. So we're the heels in the ring and all that. We get back behind the curtain, and the guys are cleaning up security and everything. And it's not 10 seconds. And like I'm looking at the monitor, I'm like, damn, look at this. And I see this guy out there, he's sweeping. All of a sudden, when Charlie Brown goes to kick the football and the girl moves it and he does that bump on his back, it was like, bam! I go, oh shit, the floor is slipperier than hell because of the gravy that's on it.
Yeah.
So we've got fans going down. I'm like,
oh my God.
So the guys in the middle of the show were out there scrubbing the floor. And it was a funny story. I took my clothes from that segment and just threw them in a bag and threw them in my bag and stuff. And they sat in my garage for like a couple days. And I was like meaning to get rid of them or take them to the dry cleaner. I'll tell you what, you don't know how bad mashed potatoes and gravy that are 2 days old smell.
Oh, I think I just puked in my mouth.
Nasty.
Oh, that, especially this time of year, that's a very, very poignant story. And Red has told that story here on this show before. So I know the people that watch will remember the mashed potatoes. We are no strangers to mashed potatoes on this show. Red says those are his favorite moments. What about yours? Do you have some favorite moments that you can recall from this place, this magical place that has given us some of our favorite Midwest independent superstars?
Man, I do. I have so many moments, and I know that's cliche to say, but I mean, going back to like the first season, we didn't really pick a guy. I mean, my original choice, I believe, was I was trying to convince Derek St. Holmes to like maybe be a little more flamboyant. I was trying to turn him into like a hybrid of Derek St. Holmes and Ric Flair, and he was going to be the first champion for Dreamwave. And then I love when these guys organically get over. There's been, a handful of them over the years. And the first one we had was Austin Roberts. And I mean, he was a superhero for these people. I mean, they didn't give us a choice. It was like we had to like pivot and change the booking there. So his first run was really awesome. Brubaker, I mean, it's so cool to see, like, he did the Iron Man thing where he didn't miss a show for the longest time, and he was LaSalle. Marche winning the belt, and there's a picture of him. Eric Bischoff was there that night, and there's just this cool ass picture with him and Eric Bischoff, and Eric was walking in the locker room, and Eric's putting him over like, you're gonna be somebody, and just like, it was just a real moment you walk into. And I try not to get too like nostalgic when the names come in and stuff, but like the $1 Million Man telling dirty jokes to the locker room, and the guys are all sitting down like it's story time and in kindergarten. It's just moments like that. Jason Hades coming back, Ali when he was already in the WWE, when we had a reunion show in 2019. WWE actually let him come in, so of course we snuck him in and brought him out, I think, to open the show, and it was just like one of the craziest things, because people were like, didn't believe it when they heard his music, and then things like that, little moments. I like to create impossible moments for people when possible, and it's like, memories are it's just such a fleeting thing. My memory's awful personally, for numerous reasons, but it's cool to look back at some of that stuff now and to go through the flyers. I'm a big fan of like physical media and art and like DVD collecting and things like that. And I like to go through our posters and look at like all the artwork and how it's evolved and changed over the years, because I think that's a big thing about Dreamwave. What makes it stand out a little bit is because everything is professional. Like, we're not going to slap together a flyer and send it to Kinko's and put it on a wall. Like, I've sent it back 2 or 3 times, and we work with an artist now that's just amazing. And but anyways, going back to those old flyers, it takes you right back to that time, and
there's the new flyer.
Yeah, yep, there it is.
Pretty damn impressive. This Saturday in LaSalle, right in the middle of that frame is a hardcore legend unto himself. So your flyer technology has only gotten better, because this is amazing.
Yeah, we work hard on that and try to make, it's part of the product and it's part of the brand, and people like to get them signed and stuff like that. So it's really neat. But you can look at those old flyers, going back to that, and you can actually you can smell the building that night, or you can, smell the mashed potatoes or whatever. And it's a big part of who we are and what we've done there. And we got a lot of more memories to come, man. And, I've kind of lit a fire under my ass, and I'm ready to go again. I think a lot of the guys are too. And, we got a really good strategic partners this time with promotion with Luz Legrado and stuff. And it's, I'm excited for the future too.
Well, I mean, you should be, because it's the talk of the town, and I'm sure that the crowd that shows up this Saturday in LaSalle is going to be on fire and ready to go, because you've got so much talent there on that flyer. You see obviously Raven front and center, but there's the who's who of the wrestling scene now. Not to say that there won't be historical people there from times before, but Axel Rico is in his prime right now. Christian Rose is doing amazing work. His boys in the Damn Coyotes, again, amazing workers. So you have exactly what you said. You have like a greatest hits tape of all the people that are around. And not only do you have people from the past, but you also are focused heavy on promoting young talent. How do you feel about the young talent that you have? Because you've got quite a bit based on what I saw.
I feel real good about it. And like, a couple names, like you said, that jump out as Axel Rico. And what's funny is too, like, you said Christian Rose, like we had him and me and him had a hell of a run. I think we're both responsible for a lot of each other's success.
I have heard him talk many times about you.
And, it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, I feel like he's gone off and gone other places and gotten better. Marche, I mean, he's become, he's been everywhere since he's been here, and things like that. So I'm so excited, not only the new younger kids, but the guys that were here before that have gone off and evolved or changed their game or elevated their game. And you know what I mean? It's like we get to see a new side of them and see where that takes us. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pick people out individually, but I'm very excited. We've got this, not a working agreement, but we're working a lot with Mexico right now to get a lot of the luchadors in. We have a good relationship with them, and the best is yet to come, brother. That alternative title division we're bringing back is going to be wild. I can't say too much, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. And those matches always were amazing. I was just going back on IWTV. We just got on there, and I've got a stack of DVDs. Like I said, I'm a physical media guy, but I was kind of going through watching some old Rumbles and stuff the other day and getting ready for the show on Saturday. And I was watching some of those, and the people come through the curtain. It's like, I forgot. And it's like, oh shit, I forgot that guy was even here for a Rumble or something. But I was watching some of those alternative title matches, and they're just amazing, man. Like, it's unbelievable. So I'm excited for that too. And the best in the world is going to come here and continue to come here. The sky is the limit with that, and especially with the fans. I mean, I think there's like 40 or 50 tickets left for Saturday, and that's like,
that's amazing.
That's like standing by the bar, and like, we actually had to scale it back a little bit because we had so many people there.
God, that place was so packed with people. I mean, it was standing room only on that return shows up. It was wall to wall people.
It was crazy. And then, also last month outside, we had a little more room, which was great. But I mean, these shows that we've had, these last three shows, August, October, and then this one, are the top three shows we've had aside from Bret Hart and Ric Flair. So it's like in Dreamwave 100 with Shawn Michaels. So it's like we're bringing in names still, obviously, but the fans are coming back to see the product, and everything's clicking. So it's like that gives us the ability to bring in all kinds of new talent and expensive talent and things like that. So like I said, the sky's kind of the limit.
And that was something that jumped out at me right away, because when I got there and sat down, the advertised talent was in the ring signing autographs at the time I got there prior to the show. And, everybody was in there, and it was doing well. But it's when, the people that have been there a while, like when Boz's music hit, that place went crazy. And it just kept getting bigger and bigger. When Vic and that whole thing with their group, everybody was riveted, and the noise was loud, and the crowd was lively. And now, you only got 40 tickets left. And if people can't make it, you've got this thing going with IWTV. So if you can't make it to LaSalle, you can watch it, you can watch it on that. And, that's the way to do it now. That's why everybody's streaming now.
Yeah, it is. And I was one of the last, people to jump on that, because I don't know what I thought I was going to do with the DVD collection or what, but I was just holding on to it, kicking and screaming. And, I like that physical media. I like to have an album in my hand. And it's like, just the attention we've gotten since we've done this from new fans already has been noticeable. And we've seen an uptick in website traffic. We've seen an uptick in social media activity. So it's exposing the new fans that maybe were a little younger. Like my kids, for example, when the Dreamwave was first around, my kids were younger. Now they're 11 years old. And now they're bringing their friends to the shows. So I think that's really cool that we have a whole nother audience. Plus we have that other audience that we're pulling from, right? I always say about promoting success is like, you know, your wrestling fans are going to come, those 100 people, 150 people, no matter what, they're going to be there. What makes a big monster house is when we can get, it was like ESPN, you know, talking about Goldberg's streak in the Attitude Era. When you can get them casual fans in the building, now we're talking about a monster house. People like, hey, you know, there's nothing to do on a Saturday afternoon or a Saturday night. Let's go check this thing out. And, you know, it's like a drug dealer, man. The first one's free. Then once we get to you, you keep coming back for more. So.
You know, that is very true. And it's like, you know, you've got the perfect storm, the nucleus, you know, whether it be the big draw guy or the fact that the fans love who you have. And, you know, you're talking about your flyer art. And, you know, I was going through a lot of the flyers, the old ones, kind of reminiscing a little bit. Look at these kids. I mean, this thing, just look at those children. My God, man. Look at Brubaker looking like Gangrel. I mean, this is what it's all about. You know, what's happening now is great, but it's borrowing from the past. And I think that's what's so cool about Dreamwave is it's on the cutting edge, but it always recognizes where it's been. And I think that gets lost a lot in translation in professional wrestling. I think people try to distance themselves from where they've been and they don't embrace it. I feel like you do based on what I've seen. Do you embrace the past to bring it to the future?
100%. And I think that's, you know, even with the surprises to the Rumble, we always like harker back to like some of the old guys that maybe haven't appeared. Some of them are deep cuts and the new fans are like, I don't even know this guy. Like, you know, I'm reaching out to guys like Rudo Cortez, who hasn't been on a show since like the first season. Like, I'm just nostalgic like that. And then, you know, we're always like with the title histories, we're always trying to make that important. Like, you know, this is a 2-time Dreamwave champion. He held the title for 285 days because I feel like those things matter. You know, like AEW was trying to do it a little bit with like the ranking system that kind of just disappeared and things like that. But I think wins and losses should matter a little bit in wrestling to a certain extent. And you know what I mean? And harkering back to like, you know, Brubaker's history here. And I love playing off of that. And I think it's important because, you know, we do have a legacy and I am proud of what all of us have accomplished in LaSalle. And it's not just what I've accomplished, it's what we all have. And, you know, it's amazing, man. And we try to, I wish we could do a little more with the video stuff. I mean, we are, that's a little spoiler for Saturday. We do have a new production company coming in and, wow. You know, and that was one thing where I think the shows were lacking a little bit, like, hey, we got these cool banners and everything looks good with the ring and all that. But I want, like, when they walk through the curtain and people see it on IWTV, I want to be like, holy shit, this is a major league deal. So you're going to see a major upgrade Saturday in regards to the way the show looks and production value. So, you know, we got a new DJ coming in that started last month with us, and he's used to mixing professional bands and stuff. So, you know, I don't want a microphone cutting out on us, or I don't want, I know those things sometimes don't matter to the fans, but they drive us nuts in the back. And
I've been there.
You know, you can always get better. No matter how good you are, you can always get better. And that's what we try to do from month to month and year to year, is just always improve the product. So
where are you looking to go with Dreamwave? Where do you think it goes from here? I mean, you've had a very successful past, a very legendary past, and now here you are in 2022, heading into 23. What are you looking to achieve?
Well, we've got this new internet pay-per-view sort of deal, the streaming deal. I want to expose the product to a wider audience. And I think that opens up a lot of doors. It's like I said, with the fans coming back, you know, everything went up. The ticket, we used to charge $15 and $12 for tickets. Well, it's 2022 now and everything's gone up. So
no doubt,
you know, there's more revenue in the ticket sales and the sponsorships. We have a strategic partnership with Luz Legrado, and Mary, that owns Luz Legrado, is a concert promoter. So she's had some of the biggest names in entertainment. She's brought them to LaSalle. So what I was doing with wrestling, she was on this parallel path doing it with music. I'm talking, you know, you may not be a country music fan, but she had Tim McGraw and like Willie Nelson, to name Kid Rock was there. So these people have all played LaSalle. Literally, they had a field in LaSalle, built a stage, and had a concert, and 10,000 people show up. So, and her son Gage is a wrestler, and she contacted me through a mutual friend, and we got together and we just clicked. And it was like, we're both have very entrepreneurial minds, and it was like, I think we both have the sky is the limit sort of attitude. So it's kind of dangerous. They have their big anniversary celebration for the restaurant next year. They own Lou's Le Grotto, obviously. And some of the names that we brought up, we're talking about a big wrestling show and a big concert, and it's like, I'm just kind of sitting there like, holy shit, that'd be really cool, being a music fan myself. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I want to see where these new revenue streams take us and where they allow us to be at. And I feel like I have a proven track record of being able to navigate the ship with the tools that I'm given. It's just that we put on the show, and if the fans show up, it's, possibilities are endless. I mean, if we get this new revenue stream coming in with the streams and whatnot, new audience, new fans, I mean, I don't know, are we going to go on tour? You never know. I mean, I love watching like what GCW does. Like, I'm not a huge fan of everything they do there, but the fact that they've grown so exponentially over the years, and now they're doing tours of Japan and stuff like that. I'm not saying that's where we're going to be, but it's pretty inspiring to see a small company out on the East Coast do things like that. So
pro wrestling is alive and well in our area because of people like you. Red, I just can't help myself when we get cool guests. I just have to ask the questions. So now I acquiesce to you.
Ask me what?
Well, I'm acquiescing. I'm saying now you ask the questions, you do your red stuff. I mean, do the roses at the very least, for goodness sakes. Have you been asleep?
I'm getting over being sick, sir.
You are an old
anyway.
Watching Aaron Xavier matches over there or what?
Oh, that just made my night. Yes.
Especially after last
Aaron,
month.
I'm going to see you in a few weeks. I
want to see it. We'll find out if he's really watching, because
he ain't watching. Aaron don't watch.
Jay, what can I say? You brought me in into a place. I'm gonna be honest, I was intimidated. The boys had already started talking. Dreamwave was the place to be back then. So when you gave me that call, I was excited, but making that drive, like, I almost I stopped at every rest stop, stopped at every gas station because I had to pee because I was so damn nervous. Pulled up to the building. I didn't even know, like, to walk in the door, and, I literally walked up the back stairs with the ring. We brought the ring in, literally, because I didn't know. I was so nervous. I was just like, the door's open, that's where I must go. Okay. The fire escape, I should say. You brought me in, and I know you probably hear it 30,000 times, but Dreamwave changed my life. Not just because of the opportunity, but like I said, the fans, and the fans that have become family. To this day, Jen and Mary, oh my God, whatever I'm dealing with, they reach out, regardless, good or bad. Like, there's not that many fans that you let into your world, but when you see they're genuine people, that's what makes it special. And that's what you did. You let genuine people, at least into my life, that I know honestly give a damn. The friendship, the camaraderie, oh my God, the memories. You talked earlier about when the $1 Million Man was there. For me, it was Chavo Guerrero coming down with 4 pitchers of beer. And he's like, here, boys, this is for you. Huh? Like, who does that? Like I've shared locker rooms with other stars before, but he was like, it wasn't about him being relaxed and having a drink. It was about the boys should be able to drink and have a beer and relax. And it was like, how damn cool is that?
Mm-hmm.
My greatest is Ron Simmons. And that's because, again, and I've told that story, that you guys wanted the promo done. You wanted the vignette done. But nobody could seem how to figure out to get it done. And it was like, okay, it's simple. You guys want him to play poker. Where's the cards? Nobody's got cards. Nobody has cards, and you want Ron Simmons. So what did I do? I ran the Dollar General. I spent my money and bought cards and poker chips.
You gave me the receipt though, right?
No, because, and here's
Hell yeah,
he
gave you the receipt. You know that happened.
really for $2 or $3 at the most.
He gave you a receipt. Or he's
like,
like,
you got my PayPal?
But for me, it wasn't even about that. It was about, I wanted to see this moment happen. And for me to know every time I watch that promo that everybody plays a special part in Dreamwave. Everybody. But none of it is without you. Like, I remember the 3 o'clock meetings and you go over the card and, you know, you tell everybody what was important. You didn't want to bore us with, you know, everything. You just gave us the bullet points. But then you let young guys, and that's what I'm grateful for, because you let young guys come in there and show you what they could do. No other fucking promoter to this day does that shit. No other promoter says, let me see you, let the boys see you, and let's see what you can do. You gave kids and guys opportunities they weren't getting anywhere else. Nowhere. Some of them have went on to be all over the scene. But it's because of you, you gave them that opportunity, and that's what most of these kids want. Just an opportunity. And you, Jay Repsel, that's what you do. You give people an opportunity. So, from the bottom of my heart, you gave me an opportunity years ago. So, I've never said it, and I've told you 1,000 times. I'll tell you one more. Thank you. I appreciate you, and I love you.
I appreciate that, man. I don't even know what to say, but that's like following one of them 4-way lucha matches. I don't want to go next.
He's still going to give you, if he's still got the receipt from that Ron Simmons card thing, he's going to give it to you.
Don't let him bullshit you. He's like, you got my PayPal, right?
Don't mess with Red's money. I know there's Red and there's his cash. I know how the second order goes. I've been there, done that. Jay, you got a big show this Saturday, Nevermore, happening in LaSalle. Tell us a little bit about what you've got cooking, if you can.
Sure, absolutely, man. I mean, obviously the stuff that's announced out there. Let me get my lineup here, just because I'm old and I've been doing 6th grade math all night.
You can't be older than me, so I'm going to give you all the time you need.
We got Davey Richards and Ninja Mac. Davey's been here a million times. And
Davey Richards, that's some talent right there.
I'll be honest with you right here. Like, there's no science to this. Like, I'm on Twitter one day sitting here watching Sports Center, and like Ninja Mac's like, hey man, I'm available these dates. I'm like, wait, what? So I reached out to him. We struck a deal, and I knew that match was money right away. So I threw that to both of them, and they're both like, hell yeah, let's do this shit. And we made it work. We've got Bucky and Evil Uno, which when we booked Evil Uno, I was like, I don't know how familiar you are with Bucky Collins, but he's kind of one of the most underrated guys out there in regards to doing what he does in the ring and connecting with an audience. And I'm really looking forward to that. So that should be a lot of fun.
This past Saturday in a locker room, I heard two people telling Bucky Collins stories, and I can't wait to meet the man at some point, because they talked so highly of who he was, what he could do, and what he should have done. That's a pretty amazing name to throw out here on this show. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be fun. We've got Christian Rose and Connor Hopkins taking on two of the young guns, Hunter Holdcraft and 12 Gauge. So that'll be interesting to, we're kind of giving some young guys an opportunity there, so to speak. And I'm a big fan of Connor Hopkins. I really am.
The sexy coyote, or I'm sorry, the handsome coyote.
Is that what he is? Okay.
That's what he is.
Self-professed, right? That kid's going to be a star. I don't know if it's going to be here somewhere else someday, but
I just called a match with 12 Gauge over the weekend. That guy has got every move in the book and then some. And that guy's exciting to watch.
Sure. And Hunter Holdcraft, he's a LP wrestler, LP being our local high school. He then went to Augustana and wrestled, finished his career at ISU, his college career. And, he's got the amateur background. He's been working with various trainers and stuff. So, he's pretty popular. He's in great shape. So excited to see what he can do in there with a couple experience.
Was he a part of that gauntlet match back at the return show?
He was.
That is a big dude.
Yeah, he is. He's actually my stepson. So.
Oh my God, that guy was good. I thought he was going to beat the Buns of Steel man.
Yeah, it was exciting. So no, and that was really his first time. He's been in battle royals and he's trained, but that was his first full match, and he was
so over. He was so over.
Yeah, he's popular, and he coaches the local wrestling team, the amateur wrestling team. So they're planning on being in attendance and rooting him on and things like that. So I'm excited to see where he goes, and he's got the discipline. He's in the gym all the time, and he's just, nobody can hold him back. I mean, I'm excited for that one. So then obviously we have Gringo Loco versus Commander versus ASF versus Eras. Fatal 4-way, and it is now for the vacant Dreamwave alternative title. So
that is going to be absolutely electrifying.
That's going to be a good one. That's kind of one of those how do you follow it matches. So there's of course there's unannounced things. The whole second half of the show, full disclosure, is going to be the Good as Gold Rumble. That's an hour-long minimum because we don't bullshit the times, and that's not one of the most popular events we typically have. Vic was injured, a while back. He took actually at AEW. He was injured there and doing one of those darks or whatever. And no, actually, I believe it was on Dynamite, and he let me know that he wasn't cleared. So that's why he didn't wrestle at the October show, and he will be cleared for this show. However, he had a previous engagement already that I wasn't going to ask him to cancel because I wouldn't like someone to do that to me, even though he is the Dreamwave champ. So we kind of cooked up this little scenario after much intense phone sessions. We decided that let's do the Good as Gold Rumble, and then the winner can face Vic in February. So something's still happening with the title. It's not just a neutral. So
Vic Capri is something else. Absolutely one of the greats that has ever laced up a set of boots, and to have him as your champion, that is a statement unlike any other. You said there are still some tickets available for LaSalle this Saturday, but if you're not lucky enough to get a ticket, IWTV is an alternative, and it's going to be a live stream, correct?
Yeah, correct. Yep. So starting at 3:00, we're going to live stream on IWTV. I think it's like $9.99 or $10 a month for the membership. And I don't know if there's a free membership or not. They gave me a promo code. To be honest with you, I'm not even sure what the promo code does. So you guys put me over for being a good promoter, and I don't even know what the hell it does, but they're like, put in the promo code Dreamwave. So give it a try and let me know when you do find out. But it's for $10 a month. There's a lot of content on there. There's 311 companies, and we were talking to 3 different companies about our back library and our back catalog, because content's king right now. Everybody wants to have that beefy catalog they can charge a subscription fee for. And we got a lot of gems back there, man. I mean, not just some of the stuff we've talked about, but when people approach you, they're looking at like the marquee names that they can put on the front of the screens to so people watch it, like the Young Bucks, and we've got a lot of that stuff. Cody, you know what I mean? Names that household names, so to speak, that everybody would know, and all the guests that have come through here too. So we were kind of leaning one way, and then I got approached by, I didn't realize that Smart Mark Video was affiliated with IWTV, and we've worked with them for years. I'm a big loyalty guy, man. I mean, I'm big on loyalty, and I believe in working with the people I'm comfortable with. And so anyways, I found that out, and it was a no-brainer for me. We struck a deal, and here we are, live at 3 p.m. this Saturday from the Knights of Columbus, and went down and tested the internet numerous times and numerous angles on Saturday to make sure there's going to be no hiccups. And yeah, man, it's going to be full blown, and we got, a great commentary team. We've got great, the production value is going to be the first time we're using this new entrance setup and things like that. So, we're going to bring the noise, man. So all everybody has to do is just show up.
That is amazing stuff. Jay, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show tonight. You've been fantastic. I love the passion of which you speak about your product. And like I said, I have felt, even though I just saw my first Dreamwave show, I feel like with everybody I've worked with and all the stories I've heard over the years, I feel like Dreamwave has been a part of my legacy, even though I have never been there. So I want to thank you for the people that you have sent out into this world with that kind of history that have impacted my life. Jason Hades, I don't know where I'd be without him. Same thing with Vic, same thing with Boz, same thing with C Red. All of these people have had such a gravitational effect on what I'm doing in this business. And they all kind of go back to you. And the fact that you came on this show and you've given us some time tonight as you get ready for your big show, Nevermore, Saturday in LaSalle, I'm so thankful and I'm so grateful to what you have made. Even though I've never met you before in my life, I'm extremely grateful for what you have done that has given me the ability to do what I do. So thank you very much.
I appreciate that. And where the hell have you been? You've only been to one show. Come on, get your ass out. Come see us again, hang out with us, and it's a good time, man. So
hell,
he belongs to us now.
What'd you say, Cactus?
I said he belongs to us now.
The knockouts and roller derby. It's like an addiction. Anyway, you can see Jay and the Dreamwave Nation this Saturday night in LaSalle, Illinois, or this Saturday afternoon, should I say. 2 o'clock, the doors open. 3 o'clock is bell time. Nevermore featuring Raven. Artists like Marche Rocket, Christian Rose, C Red on commentary, Connor Hopkins, Axel Rico. The list goes on and on. Gringo Loco. Boy, what a card you have. And Jay, I wish you the best this Saturday. I hope this knocks it out of the park. I hope your internet is great. I hope IWTV pops and you have an amazing show. And I look forward to seeing you down the road. I hope you'll come visit us on this show again. And we can talk to you next time around, because you're just a hell of a guy to talk to. And I love your product.
I appreciate that. And reach out anytime. We'd be glad to come on and talk wrestling or whatever else we talk about. So roller derby or anything, I'm all in, man.
Oh, we got roller derby on this show, Jay. We got roller derby.
Well, then stick around.
Stick
around. We're going to be talking about the bout this weekend, which I'm still recovering from.
Cactus is still recovering. She was traveling this weekend. Jay, this is that time of the show where if you have things to do, you have satisfied your hour obligation. If you wish to stick around and talk about other things, you're more than welcome. But if you need to say sayonara and go do your business, then we thank you. We appreciate you. It is a damn privilege to meet you. And thank you for being on our little show.
Well, I appreciate that. And I do have hopefully only an hour homework obligation with my sixth graders I've got to go take care of.
Oh my God, homework. Kill me now. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Repsel, Dreamwave. Go see that show this Saturday night. Jay, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, guys. We'll be in touch.
All right. We got Jay Repsel, Dreamwave this Saturday. It's going to be a hell of a show. Don't miss it. Go to dreamwavewrestling.com. You can still get those 40 tickets that are left, or you can check it out. Jay, thank you so much. We'll see you next time around.
Thanks much, guys. I appreciate it. See you guys.
All right. That is Jay Repsel, Dreamwave. It's happening this Saturday in LaSalle, Illinois. And now we are going to bring in the fierce, the mighty, the lovely, the amazing, the sensational, the spectacular Cactus Rack. Are you ever
Why do
going
I
to
feel like you're kissing my butt?
Are you ever going to turn
No.
your camera?
No,
Oh, so it's just the picture tonight.
it's just a picture tonight.
You're
I'm stressy.
casual,
I'm
distant stare.
stressy, I'm depressy, and my hair is flat. So
Well, we might not have you in person, but we have your voice. We have that knockout picture, which is great. Rion is here, I think. There's a picture of Rion from Saturday at Rocket Pro Wrestling when he was taking pictures with the Ghostbusters.
You know he's 9 times out of 10 driving. Why are you messing with the man?
Well, you just, I mean, he's with the Ghostbusters there. You want to talk about a pop. This past Saturday at Rocket Pro's Christmas Chaos, when Ringo, and there he is, he's here. Rion is here in that would be the Beatles. I would like to have Ringo here, but that's neither here nor there. Rion had the pop of the night without any discussion. When Can You Feel It hit, that place went batshit crazy. If Rion isn't the most over superstar in Rocket Pro, he's neck and neck with Maximus, I would imagine. They're a darn tag team. So we'll talk about Rocket Pro. Cactus Rack, we are going to talk to you now. Because
Yay.
I want to hear all about the Hell's Bells that the Knockouts created when they went road tripping to Michigan. Tell us all about it.
All right. So like I said, I'm still recovering, and I did not drink one little bit this weekend. This is pure exhaustion from the skating. We made it to Flint at like 11 o'clock at night, went right to bed pretty much, woke up, went right to a practice, went and ate lunch, and then got ready and went right to the bout. There was like no downtime. So we played Mid-Michigan Roller Derby, which is a WFTDA league. And this was their first time skating in a bout of this nature. And I will say they were worthy opponents, although they did wear far too much pink for my tastes. As usual, it was a blur. Because when I'm out there, I'm just trying not to die. So it was intense. The parameters of the game changed. It was not 2 20-minute periods, it was 2 40-minute periods. So it was definitely
40-minute periods,
2 40-minute periods.
Bonus coverage.
And yeah, it was a lot. We had we were not expecting some of the hits that we took. I don't know if y'all saw my Facebook post, but at one point I got hit and landed on my left boob and skidded down the track on it.
Yeah,
like, I don't
about the boobs. We heard about the boob situation.
I don't even want to like it's so tender underneath, like where my ribs are. I don't even want to look at it. Like no one's ever hit me that hard before. So kudos to you, Mid-Michigan. I bruised my hand. I went down a few times, which is hard. One of their jammers took out Marley a few times. Not a jammer, but one of their blockers took out Marley a few times. I'm blanking on names right now because there's just so many people. It was great though. Like the fights, I can't wait to see more of the fights. I punched Goat in the face. I took out, was her Nightmare Nelson, I think her name was, took her out while one of my friends beat up one of her friends. It was a blast. We smoked him in the first half. I think I posted the score was like 63-41. They kind of caught up to us. I think we were kind of like dangling a carrot in front of the horse a little bit with them. We let them get a couple points on us, and then we smoked them again and beat him 112-100. I mean, so much is somebody threw a wrecking ball out on the track. One of their skaters did. Yeah, sure. I think it was Recasaurus. Luckily it was beeter juice, and beeter juice is nimble and just hopped right over it. God, I jammed.
You
Can you believe
jammed?
that? I jammed.
Oh
I
man.
jammed against Heartbreaker. In
We
my
guys and I would have
job
been
when
there, Cactus. We wanted to be there, but we were otherwise
Yeah.
occupied. Next time you go, if we're not doing something, we are gonna rent a hotel and we're gonna come up there with you.
this is likely going to be a yearly thing, if not more so.
We're going.
You know, breaking character here a little bit.
All right.
They are awesome skaters, awesome people. Definitely bonded a bit afterwards and are just so excited to do this again. We gave them a gift basket with Malort in it. We got a cute little video of them trying it. I don't know what they do.
Really?
I mean, I guess
That's what you brought, Malort?
Yeah, we gave them Malort. And I guess it's because they're inflamed. There's like no reaction from any of them when they drink it. Like to this day, when I have a shot of Malort, I am like shuddering and trying not to throw up. And they just straight back. Oh, there's like some murmurs about it. And, you know, still like the second anyone asks me what I think it tastes like, nail polish remover.
It's not good.
That's what it tastes like.
Awful.
Yeah. We gave them Garrett's popcorn. We gave them Hog Wild.
You brought Hog Wild up there? That's awesome.
Yeah, we took the Hog Wild up. I really wanted to get them Maxwell's mild sauce, but there are no Maxwell's out by me. So I am a huge proponent of the mild sauce. Andrew, the hot rod, likes to say that it's just watered down ketchup, but he's full of shit.
What?
That's okay.
Yeah.
We all know that Andrew has his moments.
Andrew's from the East Coast, so that should explain some of it.
Yeah, I hate Baltimore worship. I hate it.
I mean, I do love Baltimore, but I mean, they've got the lock on like seafood, but when it comes to like just about anything else, they don't compare.
I hate the Ravens. I hate the Orioles. I hate
I mean, don't have this conversation with Hot Rod. He might beat
fuck Baltimore, Hot Rod. Fuck them.
He loves the Orioles. He loves the Ravens. I mean, we don't really get the Ravens out here. So when he wants to watch it, he will like find some obscure app to watch it. And just we'll be like at Taekwondo and he's huddled in the corner watching his Ravens. Yeah, it was different. It was a roller hockey arena. So it had the walls like a hockey arena, but it had like sport court down. And I'm glad I didn't change my wheels because I feel like I would have face planted more than I did if I had.
It looked very spacious.
It was huge. There was room for like a full crowd, and we not only sold out, we oversold. Nice. So it was packed with people. People were sitting in the crash zone, which is the area of the track where there aren't chairs, and it's close enough that if someone gets hit out, they might just splash right into you. There were some stands outside. There were people standing around. There were people still waiting outside trying to get in. It was really kind of gratifying because we've gotten a lot of hate. And we even got some on a video that was posted about the bout and showing some of our fights. I was like, oh wow, this video really, you know, proves the legitimacy of the sport. And it's like, there's nothing. Yeah, we're showy. Yes, we are campy. Yes, we roll around and beat the crap out of each other, but we're just as legitimate as any other sport. And this is where modern roller derby came from. Like it or not, we're your mother, we're your grandmother. Like, this is it. And also, mama? Yeah, who's your mama? It's me. Also, it's just like, let me get my little soapbox here. I feel that so much of wanting to be seen as legitimate is being seen as legitimate to men. And as you all know, I could give a fuck less.
Yes, we know.
So, yeah, you know. But it's stupid. It's like, why would you want to, you know, why would you shit on other women and then think of yourself as a feminist? What's the point? So other women doing what they're doing, like living their best life, you know, it's and I wanted to say, and I zipped my lip because I was already in jail on Facebook. I just got out of a 24-hour ban. Cry harder. Maybe someone will come to your bout, because you know what? Nobody goes to Whipsit bouts. Want to know why? Because it's fucking boring. I said it.
She said it.
I did.
You had me sold on roller derby the first night I got to work it. You don't have to worry about legitimacy with the people that we know, because we have been championing your cause since day one. We know what you do. We respect what you do. And you're on this show because we love what you do.
Thank you. I did get 2 penalties. I don't really remember what for. I'm telling you, the whole thing is a blur.
Did you beat up an official?
I didn't get a penalty for punching the ref because all the other refs were distracted by the fight that was happening behind me.
There was no Russell shuffles, were there?
No, Russell wasn't there. Oh, that's the other thing. So the Bros and Russell, who are all knockouts as well now, were supposed to meet up with us at the after party. They were like, yeah, we're definitely like 15 minutes away.
I saw that Facebook SOS.
Yeah. So I looked up where they were wrestling because I hadn't heard from any of them. And of course, it's like, backwoods Michigan. Like, what if they're in a ditch or something? What if they've been hit by a deer? So I'm looking up to see where they're wrestling. It's Coloma, Michigan. Do you know where Coloma, Michigan is? It's on the completely opposite side of the state. It's down by New Buffalo. It was 2.5 hours away. And I updated it, and like it took them a couple days to respond, but like they were like, what I think it was Chad was like, yeah, we were pretty stoned when we looked it up. And I'm like, well, yeah, that makes sense. So it was sad we didn't get to see them. It was unfortunate. We were all really looking forward to it. Everyone was like, where are the Bros? Where's Russell? But next time, yeah, I'm still just trying to like process everything that happened, because again, I'm just trying to survive when I'm out there.
Are you ready, man? I don't have Ryan Matthews. I'm sorry.
It's a question for Cactus.
Yes.
This is Michigan.
Yeah.
So I would like to think that you were like roughly around here.
No. Go across your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going. Now go up. Now go up.
Sorry, my other hand.
Go up to the tip of the pinky. That's where we were.
Okay, now where were they?
Now make a diagonal across, going down.
By the thumb.
Down.
Down by your.
Yeah, that's where they were.
That's a lot.
That is not around the corner.
That's very broad.
And I guess they actually considered trying to drive it. No, we were all like, no. No. Go home and go to bed.
So, so you guys, so you were in Flint. You in Flint.
Yeah, we were in Flint. We were right.
That's why I was okay. I remember. Okay, I have a
yeah.
Okay. So Flint is here, and they just,
they're just chilling. That's the Bros. So it makes them magic.
I learned a while ago from someone in Michigan as far as where to dictate where things are according to the hand.
Yeah, it's the hand. Okay, I'm like lifting my hand up like you guys can see me and you can't.
Hey, I saw Like a Boss returned.
Yeah, Like a Boss is back. Like a Boss was in Texas at our last bout because Like a Boss is from TXRD, which is the bank track in Texas.
Of what she brings to the table. I think she's one of my favorite knockouts, and it was nice to see her up there doing what she does best. I think she had a whip. Did she have a whip, or was I imagining?
She did. She had a whip. Marley had her bat. Someone else had a riding crop, and I had a box cutter.
A box cutter?
Yeah, that's what my picture is. It's me with my box cutter.
Did you use your box cutter?
I did. I was like making shanking motions at the other team during our rollout.
Anybody?
No.
You can get arrested.
I know what I'm doing. And then I pulled it across my throat when I went by the audience. And in the group pictures at the end, you can see me holding it up to one of the refs' necks. So,
Beat up a ref.
it was a different ref. It was not the one I beat up.
Red, are we
This
born?
one was annoying me because he kept telling me I had penalties. I kept calling him a fucking nerd and a fucking dweeb. So
That's
yeah.
very Cactus Rack.
That is very Cactus. I was Russian blue though. I was not.
That was very Russian blue.
It was. You missed Eurothrash. I don't think you've ever seen Eurothrash skate. Eurothrash used to be, I believe, with the Windy City Rollers. She's gonna watch this, so please correct me if I'm wrong. And skated as Dina Discipline. But
That's what I call my wife.
Interesting. But for this bout, she was Eurothrash. And when she went out to jam, I think she only jammed twice. One of the times she went out to jam, as everyone's setting up, she lays down on her side, like in a pinup pose, like watching the audience, but totally bored, and rolls on her back and puts her hands behind her head, waiting for them to call the jam start. And she waits till the whistle blows and she turns over and she just jumps right up and just takes off. And I think she got lead jammer and got some points. It's her first bout in 14 years. And she's just like, here I go. It was awesome. It was really awesome to play against another team because when you're intra-league, you get to know everybody really fast. And you get to know what everybody's going to do. And you get to know how hard they're going to hit. And it's almost like skating with a tag. It's almost like being on a tag team, even though you're their opponent. You know people for so long and you play against them for so long that's really easy to anticipate what they're going to do next.
Agreed.
So playing against a team that we had no experience with and really having to actually be on our toes was completely different. Well, some of us paid for it. So a couple of us got punched in the face. A couple of us had our faces scratched. I nearly lost an entire boob. So just
How do you lose? I mean, I know how you almost lost a boob, but it's like
I really hope there's a picture of it because when it was happening, I registered what was happening and I was like, how does this happen? And I mean, I skidded down the track. So it was really painful. It's still really painful and I don't want to look at it and I don't want to see I don't want to see what the bruising looks like. None of it. Yeah. Do you have any specific questions for me? So maybe I can dredge up some memories.
I have.
I met the love of my life.
I thought Andy was the love of your life.
Did you see? No, you
dog.
know.
Oh, the
I'm talking
dog.
about the dog.
Yeah, that was a cute dog.
That's Ziggy.
We are, as a family, in the market for a replacement dog because I just had a death in the family. We're not going to do it until the new year, but we are definitely.
Will you adopt Ziggy so I can see him?
I can't right now because we've got things at the end of the year. We're going to do it in 2023.
Fine.
If Ziggy's around in 2023, I'm not saying it's not a
Someone's gotta adopt this dog. So I literally broke character and fell to my knees when they walked him out to the track at intermission. And I was crying when we left because I didn't want to leave him behind.
What kind of dog is he?
He's a boxer.
And what's Ziggy's story? How old is Ziggy?
Ziggy is 9 months old and he's been in foster pretty much his entire life.
So what's Ziggy's? Give me the talking points. We're in the market for a dog. If Ziggy's around, I mean, I like boxers. I've never had one.
If you adopt Ziggy, you adopt me.
Well, okay, that's a bonus. I get that, but give me Ziggy's talking.
He is so sweet. He is so friendly. He would run over to greet everybody.
Is he going to?
He's really good about it.
That's what I really want to know.
I don't know. I met him on a hockey rink.
You need to screen these contestants.
This is Ziggy.
Hi, Ziggy.
Ziggy was sitting in my lap the entire time. He'd get up and say hi to people, and then he'd come back and sit on my lap. I love Ziggy so much. I think Andrew has some better photos of Ziggy. he was just such a sweet dog, really kind to children, would just come and sit in my lap. I was literally laying my head on him and crying because I did not want to leave him behind. And if you thought that Cactus Rack or Russian Blue or even me, Rachel, was a tough ass bitch, when it comes to dogs, I am not. I am the sappiest motherfucker in the entire world. Like, I missed the awards after the bout because I just ran over to where all the dogs were, because one of the people they had there was Flint City Pit, to like show some of the puppies that they had. And I lay down on the floor and they were giving out awards and they were having end of bout stuff. And I was just on the floor with, like, there were 2 senior dogs that had been adopted from there previously. There was Ziggy, there was puppies, and I was in heaven.
All right. So real quick, my wife just walked in from work. And like I said, we're talking about getting a dog in 2023. And if Ziggy the Boxer is still around, I might be interested in Ziggy the Boxer. So
okay,
I feel like you need to keep me in the loop.
The same boat as you. It just kind of happened. I walked in on it. It just kind of. I
Ziggy is the best. You will love Ziggy.
I have to get my wife to sign. I mean, I can't bring Ziggy the Boxer here without.
He's my heart dog.
Sign off on it. But I drove to Green Bay, Wisconsin to get my last dog, and I love my last dog like no other.
Yeah.
So I drive.
And this is just as far. Flint is 4 hours.
I drive to Flint to get Ziggy.
Then I'll literally always be at your house.
All right. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to reach.
You may not even see your dog.
I want you to reach out to the Ziggy people and see if they can kind of squirrel Ziggy away until after the first.
Well, Ziggy's not even on the site for adoption yet. So he's a secret.
Ziggy away, and if Ziggy is still in play in the first week of January, I'll drive to Flint and I'll adopt Ziggy.
Thank you, Steve.
And we will call Ziggy the official dog of Power Hour.
We will, and Ziggy, we'll have to share custody.
You think I'm bullshitting right now, but you got to reach out to these people, and you got to make.
I will. I know you're not bullshitting, because I do the same thing. I'm like, let's go.
Get back from vacation January 1st. I believe
he's going to be the Power Hour dog, and he's going to be the Knockouts dog, because at breakfast,
I will bring Ziggy to the Knockout show. If we can make
at breakfast,
you got to put Ziggy on hold. I mean, I need to put Ziggy on layaway.
I will. Breakfast on Sunday, like after I ate, I was literally just crying about Ziggy the whole time, and everyone was like, "How are we going to do this? How are we going to get him?" Flint, but I want to. What? Wait, what was that?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Just keep going.
That's Ghost of Christmas Past is what that was.
That's the Ghost of Christmas Past.
Don't worry about it. It's only
she doesn't know what I do when I go away. She doesn't know where I go when I go to wrestling. So I'll just tell her I'm going to a show.
Okay.
She get an outcome.
Well, anyways, but I want to push it right now. If you're in Michigan and you're looking for a dog.
No, I'm trying to get the dog. What are you doing?
I'm not talking about Ziggy. I'm talking about all the other dogs.
You're killing me right here.
You're doing it yourself.
When my dog died. When my dog died a few months ago or last month, that was a terrible, terrible situation. I love that dog. I love that dog than most of the people I work with.
Fair enough. I don't know why you look at me like that.
I'm not looking at you like anything.
But anyway, moving on. My worst injury of the night actually came from one of the senior dogs.
It wasn't the boom. How was the boom not the worst injury of the night?
Have you ever had something sharp?
No, you are not.
She's angry now.
Ghost of Christmas Past.
Crash.
She's angry.
Have you ever had something sharp like smack into the bridge of your nose?
She hasn't done
really
that.
Hard.
She never can tell.
What's up?
My wife is angry now about the dog talk. I think the Power Hour dog would be great. I like the name Ziggy. I'm all in. I'll drive to Flint.
Let's
go.
You'll go with me, right? You'll be my You'll be my navigator to go to Flint.
You're on your own. I have not said a word.
Nah, I'm gonna pay for
Rion, will you go with me to get Ziggy?
I have not said anything.
I got an idea. The Power Hour road trip to get Ziggy.
Yes.
We'll live stream the whole trip. What do you mean you ain't going red? Come on.
They've got a really good dispensary up there.
I don't do that.
You don't?
I've never done that. I don't know what that's even like.
It's hilarious.
I do that.
You'll have to show us how to do it. I don't know how to do it.
Got really good crepes.
Did you say crepes?
Really good.
I like
Crepes.
crepes.
I'm butchering the pronunciation because it's French, but I've learned that no one understands me when I say it correctly. So
I like crepes. I mean, they're pastries. They're nice. They're like a
they're delicious. I had a mocha a la mode with like vanilla ice cream and ground espresso with Nutella and strawberry. It was delicious.
Oh, I'm a big Nutella fan. Just FYI.
Yep. I work next to the Nutella cafe.
Don't tell
at
Nikki
Strickland.
that I'm a big Nutella fan. Don't tell her. She doesn't watch this
Okay.
show. There are very few people do. All right. Cactus Rack, we love you and we love what Russian Blue did this weekend. And I love the knockouts and we regret not going, right? Even though you were the most over person of the night in history at Rocket Pro.
How about you focus on what you're doing with Cactus?
We are going to talk. We're going to break away from the knockouts to talk about some other things because I want to wrap this package so I don't have to go to bed at 10 o'clock tonight.
Well, can I drop some info and then log off because I'm still catching up from sleep?
Cactus, this is your world. We're just squirrels trying to get nuts.
Don't say that ever again.
That's a squirrel, like nuts for the winter. That's a thing. That's an old saying. My grandma used to say that.
Is she here?
She's not here.
Because you don't have permission to use it.
Okay, Cactus Rack, this is your world. We're just happy to be here.
Thank you. I'm going to make this snappy. I'm still catching up from sleep because, of course, our hotel room neighbors the night after the bout were like 30 asshole kids who were having a party. I'm talking trash in the hallway, blasting music, banging on the walls. If I wasn't
Like a boss and Marley were there and they didn't go next door and whip somebody's ass.
They were on the other end of the hall. They weren't even anywhere near it.
Like a boss is a scary skater.
And they had to deal with room 327, which was all the other skaters that were up giggling about everything. So
can I tell you one thing real quick before you continue?
Fine.
I think Marley Quinn hates me.
No.
It's true.
No.
There was a post and she made a mad face. She doesn't like me.
Well, what did you say?
I didn't say anything. I just was making a post and she didn't like it.
Oh, I'll look that post up.
You look that post up. There's an angry Marley face.
It could have been an accident.
I have come.
But anyways,
that she hates me and I have fallen out of favor with the knockouts, and that's okay.
No one in my room got any sleep, and that includes the 2 extra people that we crammed in there.
By the way, Hazel looked adorable.
Thank you. She's the best.
She is.
However, so I'm still tired. So I'm going to go to bed after this, which is like no different from any other night, but worse today. Repsel League, Homewood Auditorium, December 10th. If you go, tell them you're there for the Hot Rod Daddy Andy. IPW, December 18th. The knockouts will be in attendance for the Lumberjill match. And you three keep, hour. Yeah. You 3 keep an eye out for the invitation to my Christmas extravaganza. I love you all.
Christmas extravaganza?
Yeah, everyone's invited to my Christmas extravaganza. Christmas is my favorite holiday, even though everyone thinks it's Halloween. I'm gonna go to bed now because I can feel my speech starting to slur. So
Cactus,
goodbye.
We adore you. Thank you. Thank you for the tales from Michigan. We hope that the Michigan people are coming down here so we can see here at home.
I hope once I actually see bout footage, I can tell you more of what happened. But like I said, when you're in it, you're just trying to live. So
Fair.
I have 2 messages for you as you log off, and we appreciate.
From who?
Just from me.
Okay. I was gonna say it depends on who, because I might just hang up. All right. What are you?
Message number 1. I hope your boob heals. And message number 2. Call those people about Ziggy.
I will. I'm going to do that right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Cactus Rack. The Chicago Knockouts live from Michigan was an unmitigated success. January 28th, back in Homewood, start of a new season. Russian Blue, Cactus Rack, you are amazing. Thank you so much, and get some rest.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
And there she goes. She's gone.
She hasn't left yet.
She's gone now. And then there were three. And before we start talking about this Saturday's festivities,
Where's his post?
I will show you the post when I have the time. Right now, we have a show to do, and we have got to talk about the Rion Skills Hour.
Pretty sure you don't.
We've got to talk about that moment. And it occurred
There
at
are
Rocket.
way more important things that happened on that.
We're going to talk about some
Yeah, there is. Because I'm trying to figure out how the hell there's a new Rocket Pro champ. See, I was getting ready. You ain't even have to, because I'm trying to find out what the hell happened. Like, really? Somebody explain that. Now, you said you don't know. And I appreciate your honesty, Rion. But Steve is dilly-dallying. I know he saw everything. So
we have a bully, we have a abuser of power, we have a sadistic general manager named Damian Saint, who is drunk on his own power and spins everything to his favor. And he says that he's doing it to make the money for the company. I don't believe it for a minute. First of all, let me let you know this right now, that there is an official podcast of Rocket Pro Wrestling, and it's not the Power Hour. I'm removing the glasses. Damian Saint has named another podcast that is going to rule the roost at Rocket Pro Wrestling. They're going to live stream their podcast from the next show. And guess who the official podcast of Rocket Pro Wrestling is? Guess.
JFW.
Right.
I just hope they get all the information together, because I've been listening. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Well, we give Turtle all the information, and whether he reads what he's given, that's depends on the day. I gave JFW free publicity. I mentioned them on commentaries, several times. I'm a fan of the show. They constantly run me down. And then when I say they run me down, it's back talk, spin doctoring. That's what Travis is really good at. He loves to take situations and make him look like the hero while he's spinning it. And it's great. I mean, in politics, spin doctors are essential. It's wag the dog. Does the tail wag the dog? That's historic. But now Damian Saint and Travis T and the Turtle have created their alliance, and now they are taking over Rocket Pro. I mean, let's not for a minute say the Power Hour has been there since Darkness Falls last year. I've been there the whole time. I interview all their people. Damian Saint sent me a mandate today. Get Quinn Whittock on your show. I messaged Quinn Whittock today. Our next available slot is January 17th. He said, I'm not sure if I can make it. I'll let you know.
That's fair.
And it's fair. But we're not the official podcast. Damian Saint has given it to JFW. So why they keep calling me the voice of Rocket Pro. Very proud to be a part of it. Very proud to be the voice. But I'm not the official podcast. See, Red's not the official podcast. Rion Skills, who had the greatest match of all time and got the greatest pop in the history of Rocket Pro Wrestling, is not the podcast.
I'll just tell you right now, I don't care.
I know you don't care.
I'm good. I'm good as far as being a part. That's more work. I don't understand why you are so upset.
Because I work hard for Rocket Pro. I should have been, hey, Steve, why don't you be the official podcast? I'm bitter. I'm petulant.
Okay.
But I need you to sit back for a minute. If Rion is still wrestling,
Amazing.
your commentary, and I'm not there, how are we going to do a podcast live?
I have this computer. I have Zoom. I put it on the freaking table at the end of the show, and we do the Power Hour live after show. We are Dave Kaplan, Lance Briggs, Alex Brown.
We tried that at IPW and it became a debacle twice.
Well, that's because I had limited technology, but there's Wi-Fi there.
Okay.
There's no Wi-Fi at the other place.
That's a lie. Just didn't have access.
I didn't have access to it. If there's access to it, I will bring this every time.
Okay. Why would you do that?
I don't do very much at IPW. So I would love to do
Also
this.
a lie. But that's a whole nother.
Well, okay. So I have done some things, but
Mm.
that's next year. It's going to be different. I would love to have this because I'm not letting other people that deserve it more than me get spots taken because I'm doing stupid shit. Those days are over.
We'll see.
I've had my fun.
All right.
We're going to have some fun on December 18th, though. We're going to beat those boys.
We
with
can
it.
focus on.
We're going to focus on that. Rocket Pro Wrestling Christmas Chaos. This is the king of Christmas. Rion Skills scooped up the entire town of Joliet in his hands
There's
and
a whole list. of
gave
stuff.
him a great big hug. Rion, talk about
You
that
can talk
moment.
you can talk about match one.
No, we're going to talk about that moment.
No coast. No
Can you
coast.
feel it? And that music.
No, I'm curious. Talk about no coach. What happened?
No coast and and then Eric Schultz. You talk about that.
All right, we'll
Yeah.
talk about No Coast. No Coast had a match against EJ Swanson and Eric Schultz. Eric Schultz and EJ Swanson wrestled very well. They were EJ Swanson is a really good young wrestler. I really think he's talented. And as much as I hate Eric Schultz, he is a fantastic talent. And No Coast, they're warring. They were not on the same page at all. They didn't stand a chance against two really good superstars.
Mhm.
And they lost.
I called it.
You did. But what you didn't call is after the match was over, Chet Gunderson, our beloved Chet, my running mate in 2024, I'm going to be his vice president. We are going to win the election. We are going to save America collectively. When that happens, though, what happened after the match was abysmal. He was in there hugging and trying to reunite No Coast, who actually, at the end of the match, were on the same page. They didn't get the win, but they were seemingly on the same page. And Chet comes in and tries to reunite the band, and everything seemed good. Little Santino, after the shocking loss, which his reaction was very much like that guy that you saw when Lesnar pinned Taker at WrestleMania. Remember that guy with the glasses who's just like, that was poor Santino. Santino was devastated that No Coast lost. But Chet came in to save the day, and Chet did save the day. And then the therapist, Davison Sarai. Now, I'm a fan, for the most part, of Davison Sarai. I'm scared of her at Chicagoland, but as a therapist, she said on commentary with me, she's very smart. And she has been putting No Coast through counseling, and it's been going very well. But she said, boys, we have taught you some skills. It's time for you to now use them and make me proud, something of that effect.
Mhm.
And No Coast beat the shit out of Chet Gunderson in one of the most shocking heel turns I have ever seen. Their own No Coast brethren had to come out and save Chet. So now Crazer and Blues have gone crazy. They have enlisted in the mad scientist situation that is Davison Sarai. God knows what happens next. Guess we won't find out till resolution, but that's real when that happened.
Yeah.
You ask about Quinn Whittick. How did he become champion? Well, the three people were in the ring. Isom, Rocket, Rose. It was all set to go. And then our GM, drunk on his own power, came out as usual. The same drunk on his own power GM that made JFW the official podcast of Rocket Pro Wrestling turned a triple threat into a fatal four-way and informed us that Quinn Whittick was going to be in the match. And Quinn was in it, and it was a very spirited match. Everybody performed admirably. A man in a hood came and attacked Christian Rose for the second month in a row, and Christian Rose chased him out of the ring through the curtain into the parking lot, eliminating himself from the match.
Okay.
which left Marche and Isom and Quinn. Then our guest last week, Skylar Reed, and the punk that blew us off, Devin August, came out to create chaos. And they did. And all of a sudden, the referee raises Quinn's hand. Quinn hits his finisher on Isom after Marche got knocked out of the ring and was sequestered somewhat by the Kings of the Six. Looks to me like Damian Saint is moving pieces on a chessboard. I could be wrong. I'm a conspiracy theorist at heart. I like to see shenanigans and everything, but it sure seemed like the deck was stacked in the face of the people that were originally in that match. And now it is the sexy violence era in Rocket Pro Wrestling, as Quinn Whittick is your champion.
So we got the beginning of the show. We got the end of the show. What about the middle of the show?
That is when Rion Mania
Or when
returned.
Sean Danger and Raising Turtle came in.
Oh, yeah. Turtle basically went into business for himself and got Sean Danger disqualified when Sean Danger was minutes away from becoming the new Chicagoland champion. JFW podcast, doing bad things to good people at our Rocket Pro. That's what we have to look forward to with Travis T and Turtle doing live broadcasting. Those kind of shenanigans.
I didn't co-sign on that one. I didn't co-sign.
12 gauge versus Bailey Bright. Amazing.
There you go.
Great match. I mean, you know, the Christmas Chaos, I stood the whole time, and Christmas Chaos was an amazing show. The GM put poor Aaron Stone into a gauntlet match,
There we go.
and he fought Devin August. He fought Skylar Reed, and then he fought Ryan Matthews, who was doing commentary with me at the time. And Ryan Matthews beats Aaron Stone. That sucked.
For the title?
No, Aaron has the Rocket to the Top briefcase,
Oh, okay.
but they did not make his life very easy.
Not even close. Not even close.
Those damn Coyotes now have the #1 contendership for the tag team titles as they beat AEOU.
All eyes on us.
As Timmy said, AEIOU, and he was quickly corrected.
Good.
They were fairly suggestive with their physical demeanor in the ring, which did not thrill Shelley.
They gyrate a lot.
And Shelley, not a big fan of the gyrations.
They gyrate
Shelley not happy.
a lot.
And an unhappy Shelley is not a key to success at Rocket Pro.
I knew what they do. Those are original idols.
Something that I saw at Rocket Pro Wrestling that I've never seen before. Garrison Creed, the mercenary, waterboarded Big Mac. Legit waterboarded him. Put him in a chair, put a hood on him, and doused him in water. Waterboarded him.
Huh.
I don't think we can show that footage. I think we'll be arrested. I think that's illegal.
Yeah, it's wrestling. It's fine.
It's wrestling is fine. So it was a very spirited match. Creed beat Solomon Tupu, who just had a great, I mean, Big Mac, Tupu, and Creed was such a great match. And it became the main event because the title match went early. So that left the fans spellbound at the end. What a great match it was. It did everything it needed to do to be a main event match, and nobody left disappointed. Another sellout crowd. The LIM were there. I got to meet Elfin John, and the Oos was there. Everybody was there. The Rocket Boys were back in full force, and they just they almost got into a fight with several people.
I know.
Joey Roth was there, and Joey Roth gave me this.
A restraining order.
So I cannot be within 50 feet of Joey Roth. Eric Schultz This is a real restraining order.
I see that.
That's real. Schultz law.
Yeah.
There's a number. They got all of my numbers wrong. I mean, I am a male. That is accurate. I am 6 foot. I'm not 5'8".
Mhm.
I weigh 310 pounds, not 260. So I appreciate that. That's nice.
1980.
I was not born in 1980.
You're younger than me.
I was born in 1970. So they gave me
That's
10 years
fine,
credit.
That's fine.
I was okay with that.
That's good.
My hair is brown.
You look great
When I have it colored, and my eyes aren't blue, in fact. I am Caucasian. That is painfully obvious. And I haven't been 42 in a decade. So I don't think this restraining order is accurate because that's not me. I don't know who I would like to be. A man that weighs 260. I would like to be 10 years younger.
And they did you. I don't see what the problem with this.
I would be okay being 5'8".
You already put it on the internet. The internet don't lie.
The internet don't lie. Case number 86-753-09. I don't know who that's, and they spelled my name wrong, which happens to me everywhere I go. There's not one place that pronounces, well, wait a minute. Hang on. Rocket Pro pronounces and spells my name right. That's the only place I work that doesn't butcher it and spell it wrong and say it wrong.
See, and you're gonna skip all that stuff.
No, and we're circling the wagons back to the greatest match of the night. The greatest match of the night was the 3-on-4 handicap match, which turned on to a 4-on-4 handicap match because Gunner Brave became part of that team. And this man, I'm going to say it here, the real deal, came out and that crowd went crazy.
Because they like Michael Jackson. There's a difference.
No, they like you. You're a star.
Far from it.
You are one of the Matt to the Star OGs.
So doesn't mean anything.
It does. You went out
How
there.
about you tell them about the match while you're over there talking to
What a great match it was. Rion was delivering fisticuffs and
I got beat up. I'm
you,
not sure if you guys want to see a shoot or whatever, but I got beat up
but you also
Put it out
beat
there.
some people up.
for about 20 seconds.
But you did.
And then
and-
I got beat up for about 4 minutes.
Still has one of the most powerful fists in the game.
No one cares about strikes anymore.
That strike, I care about that strike. When you hear that commentary played back, everybody going to care about the strikes. This is a real deal. This was PCW Rion,
Not even-
right down to the tights.
Don't even lie.
I'm not lying.
That dude
I was there.
And I'm telling you, that dude was a different beast. And
I was there.
not even close.
I was there in 2014. I was there in 2022.
I'm telling you that
I saw the eye of the tiger.
PCW Rion wouldn't even be here right now. If that was the case.
I saw him. He was there for a minute. He was there.
How'd the match go, Steve?
It didn't go great.
How did it not go great, Steve?
I mean, it went great, but you did get beat up. And I was sad about that.
Who won the match, Steve?
Your team won.
Mm-hmm. And why did they win?
Well, you had a lot of help.
Mm-hmm.
There was that Gunner Brave kid
Mm-hmm.
who basically got Joliet behind him again.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
You don't want to talk about this, do you?
I'm fine with it, but if you're gonna talk about it, if you're gonna tell it, as I've said before, tell it right.
I just told it right.
Don't make it seem like I went in there and was the savior of all Joliet. That was actually Gunner Brave because at one point, while he's whooping all 4 of the idols' ass, I actually got up from the ass whooping that I took and looked right at Shogun and was like, I don't even think we need to be out here at this point. I think he can handle it. To the point where it's like, well, why are you over here? I'm like, I'm just as shocked as you. He's beating up everybody. Everybody's getting ass whipped. I don't even know. And then he got cut off. And I guess we go in there and help him. I guess. Because it wasn't even about the 3 of us. It was Gunner versus the idols. And he was just
I mean,
all acid.
Gunner is amazing.
All acid.
Gunner is amazing. Shogun is amazing.
Mhm.
Maximus Orion is the arm of justice of
Mhm.
Rocket Pro Wrestling. But Rion's skills is
It's a
Moses.
joke.
Is Moses.
It's a joke.
When that music hit,
Michael Jackson.
the Red
Jackson
Seas
5.
parted, and he led us right to the promised land.
Pretty sure I didn't lead anything.
That guy.
You know what? Fuck it. You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. Look, so Red, I'm gonna talk to you right now. I'm gonna tell you exactly what fucking happened. Okay. So I'm minding my own goddamn business in the back, and they gonna come to me and it's like, okay, we're gonna do this stuff. And everybody got their own idea of how to plan stuff. And I go out there and I get outside to the entranceway, and they play the music. Motherfuckers are out there bowing down to me. No bullshit.
That was me.
They are actually out there bowing and trying to cheer and everything else. Match ain't even happened yet. I'm like, y'all gonna be really disappointed in what takes place in this match.
Nope.
These assholes and Joliet, and I can say that this is the only time I'm going to address Joliet for being assholes, took old ass me and put me on their shoulders for no fucking reason at all. I should be happy about this. I should be like, yeah, this is cool. Gunner Brave put one of the best performances out there. Maximus Orion and Shogun.
Amazing.
Went in there and haul ass. I got beat up. I'm just telling you, I got beat up. And you know what the reward was for this ass whooping they gave me? They turned off Gunner Brave's music and they put mine on. And I said, don't do that. And we ain't got to do that.
They did.
And everybody had a dance party afterwards.
We did. Big dance party.
I was like, get the fuck out of here. We need to leave. We need to go out of here. I'm trying to bring everybody back. Come on, let's go. Gunner got some stuff to say. There's a whole nother ass part of the show that needs to go on. Let's go. They didn't give a damn. They didn't give a damn. Shelly dancing with Shogun. Like Maximus Orion, big old Maximus Orion. Just dancing. Can you imagine that dumb shit? And then they just having a ball. Get your asses to the back. Let this man finish the show. Why are we here? Why are we here? Ain't nobody that important. Ain't nobody that important. I did nothing. Gunner did all of the work in the last couple of minutes. No one was. It made no sense. Made zero sense. You didn't have to do that.
I don't care. When Hulk Hogan came back, it was the same thing. He got beat up a lot, but he's still Hulk Hogan. You're still the real dude.
Make it make sense.
And that happened. And that was,
now you've gotten that out of the way, you can move on to something else.
And that was Christmas Chaos. So RPW is done for 2022. They return in 2023 with Resolution, which is going to be a great show. It's the beginning of the sexy violence era. So we'll wait and see what happens. I imagine Christian Rose is going to have a few things to say about the situation, considering he didn't actually lose his match.
He's already slated. It's already been announced. Guess you don't watch promo videos. Yes, he has a title shot.
I do watch promo videos, and I was just getting to that. He is the poster boy, as Whittock will give Christian Rose the rematch. And I imagine Resolution is going to have a lot of questions to answer. Damian Saint will have a lot to do. He has done a lot of things. I'm still standing, by the way. I stood for the whole show. My knees are all messed up now. So that's not great. But, you know, he's drunk on his own power, but he's getting the numbers. So I guess we move on. Resolution happens in January. It's going to be a hell of a show. And we'll have more updates on this program, as I can't wait to see what you do in January. Maybe you get a title shot. I mean, after carrying the show like you did, I mean, you should at least get an Outer Limits title shot.
No, I'm good.
Which brings us to this Saturday. Now, Red, we talked a minute with Jay about what's happening at Dreamwave. So I want to give you a moment to go ahead and say what you need to say about Dreamwave. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the Chicagoland Championship Wrestling Dragon Gate Super Show.
What's there to say? Jay said it all. This Saturday, doors open at 2. Bell time is at 3.
He said all the stuff.
Right. I mean, he said it all. IWTV, if tickets are sold out, which I guarantee you they fucking will be, shit, you know, the big thing on the card is the Rumble match. I mean, shit, 30 people. And we do it better than anybody. Because when we bring in surprises, we got surprises. So you don't know who's gonna be in the Rumble. They have yet to let me be in the Rumble yet.
Yeah, but you're concussed. You can't be in the Rumble.
Who's concussed? I'm fine as
You're on
hell.
commentary. You're concussed.
No, I'm on commentary,
You,
but
you need to take some time off. You're old.
Oh, so should I take the 18th off?
Oh, you should not.
No.
No.
Internet don't lie.
The internet.
I heard it on here.
We need you to be well for the second.
Internet don't lie.
I mean,
You heard on here what?
maybe JFW is going to take over. I hear JFW is coming out to IPW too, so maybe they'll take that over too. Maybe the board will let JFW be the official podcast IPW since
When hell freezes
power
over.
hour any love.
When hell freezes over.
Anyway,
So again, Saturday, be there. If you got stickers, be there. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear the music and see the fan. I can't wait. Now that he says there's new production, so I can't wait to see how it's set up. Oh my God, I'm gonna act out fool on commentary.
As you should.
as you should. You know what? I can't wait for Saturday in Homewood as
I can't either.
Chicagoland Championship Wrestling presents the Super Show in association with Wrestle League and Dragon Gate. And what a card those guys have cooked up. God bless John Bullard for being the man that he is. One of the main event matches, Shogun Chris Logan fights the man known right now as Father Dripmus. And
No, but explain why. You have to explain why he's facing Paragon.
You gonna tell her right?
No, Red, you go ahead and tell him why, and then I want to say something after that. So go ahead, Red.
Shogun's original opponent, there was a issue with travel, and therefore he will not be able to make it this Saturday. So in replacement, he is getting the Dripmus King, the one and only, my nephew, Paragon.
All right, real talk. We've all heard at this point what happened to Paragon. His car got stolen.
Hey, so tell him.
His car got stolen, ripping off a very coveted jacket that he owns, $4,000 worth of merchandise. That is, whoever did it needs to be drawn and quartered. That's not okay. So come to the HF Auditorium, buy a Paragon t-shirt, buy some merch, support this man. There are websites you can help this man. This is the worst time of year for this kind of chicanery. And although he locked me in a trunk at one point, this is a good dude. This is a guy that makes this business better. And if you come out on Saturday to HF Auditorium, the Paragon Logan match is a dream match. I have not, in recent times, I have not been this excited to call a match. I know these two so well. I feel like I have been working for 9 years to call this match. This match is going to be otherworldly, and it's going to happen this Saturday in Homewood at Chicagoland Championship Wrestling, Dragon Gate Wrestle League Super Show. Other matches. The Wrestle League Championship will be defended in triple threat form as our good friend, the Ewok. And Shaq Jordan will fight Quinn Whittick, the Wrestle League champion, in triple threat match. That's huge. That's hot. That's straight up fire. Other matches from Dragon Gate. La Estrella, who blew our minds in Michigan City just a few months ago, takes on Lucha legend Skyade. I don't think I pronounced that right. Help me out.
Sky Day.
Sky Day. That's amazing. I mean, that's so amazing that Rion felt the need to comb his beard. That's how amazing that he wants to be cute when we talk about a match like that.
I'm not sure what this has to do with you talking about matches. At least I can stay focused. Get on the goddamn match.
The Canadian Championship will be defended as Magnum Claren will take on the man we talked about earlier, the very talented young EJ Swanson. EJ gets a shot at the Canadian title. That's a hot match. The Driven Championship is being contested. Jesus DeSafio will take on the Dominican Hercules. I'm not familiar with either, but I can't wait to call that match. I can't wait to say Dominican Hercules on TV. In other matches, our friend of the show, Mr. 100, Joey Dalton takes on Riley Rose. The TV championship is on the line as champion Johnny Nye, Skim Milk, as we refer to him regularly at Rocket Pro, takes on Eric Dillinger, who we saw a few months back fight hard. Takes on Chip Walker and Bugs Moran. It's a fatal four-way for a TV championship. $15 is your ticket price. Homewood, great place, one of the greatest places of all time to see a wrestling show. The town loves it. There are many eating and drinking establishments that you can enjoy when you're done. Plenty of parking. Great venue. Stadium seating. What? ARC ain't gonna be there. What the ARC gonna do? Oh, Christ. So, surprises apparently can happen in Homewood as well, as Red is throwing up that symbol. So, do Dreamwave in the afternoon in LaSalle? Come to Homewood at night. Take a road trip. Spend your day enjoying professional wrestling.
Good day.
It's a good day. We would like to thank tonight Jay Repsel for coming on this show. It was a genuine pleasure to interview him. Red, I loved your roses tonight. They might have been the best you've ever done. Fantastic. We want to thank Cactus for recounting with glory the tales of the knockouts. We want to thank Rion for creating a holy shit moment at Rocket Pro Wrestling.
I didn't do it. The people Joliet did. There's a difference.
And I want to thank everybody involved with what's going to happen this Saturday at Chicagoland Championship Wrestling. John Bullard, you're too good to us, putting us in a position to see and do amazing things. That's all the time we have for the Power Hour this week. Join us next Tuesday night, as our guest will be from POW Entertainment, the historic superstar, Joey Chichi. How you feel about that?
I don't have a problem with Joey.
How you feel about that?
Russell Joe, he beat my ass. So great.
We will hear tales from POW, tales from Joey. It should be a fun show. Don't miss it. And next week, we will also be talking about a big weekend of wrestling. We'll talk about what happened this weekend. Red will talk about Dreamwave. We'll talk about Chicagoland Championship Wrestling. And then we'll preview the following weekend, where we've got SCW Christmas show and we've got IPW, where the Power Hour is going to take care of the workhorses once and for all. The boys done fucked up, and we are going to take them to the glue factory. Power Hour style. Man, that'd be good in a promo, wouldn't it?
I guess so.
I mean, you slapped me to put us in this position.
No, your antics put us in this position.
But you slapped me.
Your entire antics.
Slap the shit out of you.
Twice.
No, it could have been much worse.
It could have been much worse.
It could have been.
Red didn't.
And I would like to apologize. The Rockweiler came out. That's not a good thing. So I'm going to attempt to keep the Rockweiler on a leash.
I got caught up in a moment at the last IPW show, and I made innuendo about the trios title. I am not in a position to demand title matches. I'm a ticket taker. So this was not a trios title match. Let's be very clear about that. This is all personal. This is me doing what I should have done in the first place, or what what? What?
It's both for me. It's business and it's personal.
Well, they took your title.
They attacked you. They attacked Rion. So that's the personal. They got my damn title.
That's business.
That's business.
What is it to you?
I don't care if it's not on the line or not. Somebody got to answer for something. And where I come from, you either answer by cash or it comes out your
ass. What do you have to say about it?
I just want to make it to Christmas.
What you getting for Christmas, you know?
I don't know. Hopefully not an ass whooping. I just want to make sure that.
What do you want for Christmas, Red? We got a Christmas episode coming up on December 20th, the last show of the year. And we're not going to reveal who our guests are because I'm not sure if they're going to be on the show yet.
Yeah.
I'm still working on that because they're big ticket items, and I'm bringing them from all the coasts. So I've still got some networking.
What do I want? You know what I want for Christmas?
Peace on earth?
No.
Goodwill toward men?
No. Outside of my own,
eggnog?
Outside of my jacket that I eventually have to get.
I can't even say what I would want.
I want more pops. I have no space, but I want more pops.
What kind of pops do you want?
I love pops.
Just any pop?
Not any pop. I only collect either wrestling or
like 7-Up or Pepsi. Or what
pops, Funko Pops.
Funko Pops. I was like, you just go to the store and get you a Dr. Pepper.
Get you a Mountain Dew.
or my humidor could always use some more sticks. So if anybody is out there, hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, there's a week left. I am doing a Tours for Tots Drive. And you might ask yourself, well, see, Red, I don't have a lot of money. Go to the dollar store, buy a dollar toy. I don't care. It's not about me. It's not for me. It is for kids that are less fortunate than me, so they can have a Christmas. Every kid wants to wake up on Christmas morning and rip up something and have something. So contact me directly. You can contact Steve. You can contact Rion. You can contact Flash Harris. You can contact Renee Van Peebles.
Flash Harris can call you back.
One of us will get back to you, and we will retrieve said toy or toys. Make some kids Christmas this holiday season. Also, the VFW Hall, where IPW runs, also is doing a Tours for Tots drive. Rion, how long is that run?
12 to 3 on December 17th, the day before the IPW show on the 18th. 12 p.m., 3 p.m. There'll be some IPW and potentially knockouts there as well. So we'll see how that plays out. I'll have all the information hopefully by the end of this weekend.
12 to 3, you say, huh?
12 to 3.
I might stop by on my way to SCW to deliver a little holiday cheer.
We'll see.
You don't want me there. All right, I get it.
You got stuff to do.
But I got to drive that direction anyway, sort of, kind of.
Yeah,
that's fair.
we both got to go that way.
I take 30 all the way up to Larry Power Drive, so
so
I
you kinda just
passed
go
right by it.
Okay, well, that's different. I
Well, I don't care.
About 5, so I'll just come by.
Okay.
It's for the kids, and this year I'm all about.
Hey, you just did JFW. What did you turn the team?
No.
You don't want me around?
Why would I know?
I don't know.
I'm in your house. I'm physically in your house.
You are,
Why
but
would I?
don't want me to be at the IPW.
Too many blows to the head, Rion.
I'm just a ticket taker.
I'm physically
all
in
I
your
am.
house, and I'm like, nope, I don't want to be around you. That doesn't make. I walked in your house.
Did walk in my house. Doesn't mean you like me.
Just walked in, not like ding dong.
No, you
know,
walk in.
just walked in.
That's the way we are here.
Must
right.
be nice.
No, there is a bell here.
No, there's a bell.
There is a bell.
There's a bell.
I'm gonna ring
You
it.
don't have to ring it.
All right.
I used to have a dog that would bark at that, and I would be upset. But you can ring it now. And
Well, if
nobody
you
would.
want, I'll bark when I ring the
No,
bell.
you don't need. I don't need no barking. I'm hoping Ziggy doesn't bark a lot because that was a problem last time. But we'll see if we can get Power Hour Dog. We'll put a campaign up later. Next week, Joey Chichi. Thank you to Jay Repsel. Thank you to Cactus. Thank you to Rion. Thank you to Red. Good luck this weekend, Dreamwave. Good luck this weekend, Chicagoland, and the Strong Style Dragon Gate Super Show with Wrestle League. It's going to be amazing. And we will see you next Tuesday night as the Power Hour. Somehow, even though we're not the house podcast of Rocket Pro,
Hey, you
see,
need to let that go.
I'm pissed about that.
You're the only one, man.
Did you hear them run me down?
You the
That's
only
all
one.
they do.
I did
That's
hear
a
it.
whole podcast, run me down.
You the only one pissed off.
I'm pissed.
You should challenge them to a match.
They don't
You've
fight.
been challenging everybody else. You should challenge them to a match. What's
Turtles,
the worst that can happen?
Tur-
They don't accept. You should challenge
Turtle's
them.
my friend.
You should. I'm just saying.
He's my friend,
You-
but
it's something-
he knifed me in the back.
It's something that can happen.
He and they got,
With friends like that, you don't need enemies.
yeah, they wore the shirts,
I'm
and
just saying.
it's not right.
It depends on how you feel.
I'll get you yet.
All right.
Rocket Pro, you need to have the Power Hour as your podcast home. But anyway, we'll see you next week. Good night. Thank you, and best of luck. Go TB12.